Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel where today you're going to have to talk about the Packers' disappointing loss to the Minnesota Vikings in Week 17. That basically almost guarantees us, with the Washington Commanders win over the Atlanta Falcons, the 7th seed in the NFC. And overall, even though the final score looks like it was close, the game really was not close at all until the final few minutes, as the Packers offense once again got off to a very slow start while the defense tried to hold on. But by the time the offense got going, the defense was tired and fell apart. So before getting into more details here, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to go over here with the scoring breakdown here first. Start off in the first quarter with a Brandon McManus 22-yard field goal to give the Packers a 3-0 lead. Then the Vikings took a 7-3 lead on Jalen Naylor 31-yard touchdown pass from Sam Darnold. Will Reichert hit a 25-yard field goal to make it 10-3. And a controversial play to end the half here, as Will Reichert initially missed a 55-yard field goal, but the Packers were called for offsides on the play. But on replay, it looked like the Packers were not offside. In fact, the Vikings were offside, but the penalty still stood, and Reichert hit a 50-yard field goal to make it 13-3 Minnesota. Third quarter, the Vikings got a touchdown from Jordan Addison, 18-yard pass from Sam Darnold. Packers got within 10 on a Josh Jacobs 2-yard rush for a 20-10 Green Bay lead, but then the defense led up a long drive there on a Cam Akers 9-yard touchdown pass from Sam Darnold to make it 27-10. The Packers made it interesting in the fourth with a Emmanuel Wilson 5-yard rush with a Jordan Love pass to Romeo Doubs for a 2-point conversion to make it 27-18. Then Malik Heath hit a 3-yard pass from Jordan Love. Brandon McManus made an extra point, 27-25. But the defense could not get another stop to get the Packers the ball back and get in field goal range. And the Packers ended up losing to the Vikings. Team stats here. Minnesota just completely dominated this game. 26 first downs compared to Green Bay 17. 6 for 12 on third downs. The Packers went 8 for 14. Actually got better on that. We'll talk more about it in a minute. Total plays 70 for the Vikings, 57 for Green Bay. 441 total yards for the Vikings versus 271 for the Packers. 6.3 yards per play for the Vikings. Passing is where they absolutely decimated us. 372 yards passing for the Vikings. We did get a sack on Sam Darnold, but the Packers were completely beat up in secondary. No Evan Williams. No Jay Alexander. Javon Buller was coming back from injury, and we lost our fourth-string safety who was starting because of injuries, Zane Anderson, early on due to a concussion that completely ruined us as well. So, yeah, the passing game was where the Vikings completely dominated us. Only 69 rushing yards. Rush defense still played well. 104 yards for the Packers on rushing attempts here. 7 penalties for the Packers, 51 yards, 1 fumble, 1 turnover for each team. But the Vikings had 35 minutes of possession compared to the Green Bay Packers 24. So the box score here, Jordan Love 19 for 30, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 sacks, for a loss of 18 yards and 83.5 QBR. But heading to the fourth quarter, he only had 64 yards passing. That is completely unacceptable. Rushing, Jacobs struggled, 17 carries, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Wilson 6 for 29 and a touchdown as well. Love 1 for 6. Receiving, Dobbs led the team with 7 for 58. Kraft 2 for 53. Wicks 4 for 43. Belton 3 for 18. Reed 1 for 6 as well. Josh Jacobs did lose a fumble here. Carrington Valentine also had a fumble, but that was after an interception he had. Bullard, 11 total tackles, 9 solo. Kind of struggled there a bit there. Edgar Cooper, though, was pretty fantastic in run defense. 11 total tackles, 8 solo, 4 tackles for loss. Pretty good game out of him. Keyshawn Nixon, 9 total tackles, 1 pass deflection, 1 QB hit. Carl Brooks had the only sack for the Packers, also had a tackle for loss and a pass deflection as well. 2 tackles for loss for Rashawn Gary as well. So run defense was pretty solid for the Packers. Valentine got the interception to keep the Packers close in the game. 1 interception for 31 yards. McManus made all of his kicks. Whelan was pretty solid punting, but the main story of this game for the Packers is the inability of the offense to do anything for the first 3 quarters. Because this offense was dead. Absolutely dead until it almost didn't matter in the fourth quarter. Like I said, Jordan Love, not great. Only had about 60 passing yards ending the fourth quarter. Granted, there was a lot of drops by the Packers receivers, a lot of drops, and there was just an inability for the Packers to beat man coverage. And that's something that that said post game that they were shocked to see a lot of, and they were very slow to adjust. And we really felt we missed Christian Watson with his deep ball speed. Because the Vikings just played easy on the slants, caused a lot of drops, caused a lot of pass breakups. And yeah, Jordan Love just did not have a great game, and neither did the receivers. Simple as that. And it's just very, very frustrating because especially in the first half, there was a couple of points where the Packers made some questionable play calling decisions. One of which was a 4th and goal at the 3-yard line. Matt LaFleur decided to kick a field goal instead of going for it there. I don't have an issue with taking points ever, but it was also very confusing later on in the game when we had a 4th and 3 at the 18-yard line. We decided to then go for it rather than taking the 3. As you can see by the final score, those 3 points definitely mattered. And this whole thing with the Vikings field goal penalty bullcrap that happened, yeah, that hurt, but the Packers did not do themselves any favor, and the offense just completely sucked this entire game. We did not deserve to win this game. Minnesota was very clearly the better team. And look at Sam Darnold's stat line. 33 for 43, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception he did throw, but that really didn't matter too much. So, yeah, that's where, the Packers did do a good job bottling up the run game, but other than that, not really much there. And, yeah, the Vikings just completely threw the ball all over us, which what I was worried about heading this game with a very already thin secondary. Once Zane Anderson went out, they're like, yeah, that's basically game because we won't be able to contain this team. So, and we didn't for the majority of this game until the 4th and 1st quarters, but middle quarters, defense couldn't do anything. They weren't really helped out by the offense at all. And so it's just very, very concerning that this Packers is a good team. There's no doubt this is a good team. They made the playoffs for a reason. They are a very, very good team. They're not a great team. They haven't proven they've been able to beat great teams. And now, with this loss and with the Commanders' win, we are most likely going to be playing in Philadelphia for the first round of the playoffs because the Commanders are playing the Cowboys in Week 18 and the Packers are playing the Bears. We need the Cowboys to win and us to win against Chicago in order to not have to travel to Philly. And if that's the case, the Packers have a very tough road in the playoffs because we would be playing the Eagles, and if you win, heading to either Detroit or Minnesota, who we have proven cannot beat this year, and most likely facing that other team in that scenario in the conference championship. So, yeah, the Packers did not do themselves any favors here this game. They were able to make a comeback late, very similar to their first game against the Vikings, but at this point, this is just who this team is. They're very sloppy, very inconsistent, and it's just not that great, which absolutely sucks coming off these past few weeks here, like this stretch here, with very impressive victories and close loss in the lines. I thought we'd be able to win this game, but instead the Packers end up falling to Minnesota 27-24, 27-25, and we're in a must-win scenario against the Bears to get playoff seeding, but most likely we'll be heading to Philadelphia, which is something I do not want to see, as the Eagles have one of the best teams in football this year. So, but overall, this is still a very successful season for the Packers. Improved on their win total. It just so happens that the rest of the NFC North minus Chicago decided to have their best seasons in franchise history, basically. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with my NFL Power Rankings. Peace.